This video was sponsored by my own sweat and blood because of how horrible the production was.
But why?
I've literally had so many problems on the way of making it, particularly with software, some plugins not working as intended, a burned display port, constant power decline in one of my monitors, me getting sick, recordings getting messed up, lags and bugs that made me sound as if I wanted to give birth to a fucking crocodile, and so many other things.
Now, shall we begin?
No. Wait. Right. What did he say?
This isn't a word-to-word translation to Russian language, since I'd never speak Russian the way I speak English and vice versa. It's good to remember that direct translation and interpretation between languages require thousands of hours of extensive training and encompass a totally separate skill. But I ultimately suck at it, so my apologies if I get something wrong.
Fuck.
I believe in full language exposure, so I will not shy away from cursing in my videos.
Idiot, durak! Pidaras.
Bear in mind, it's not my responsibility if you cannot digest the mere idea of your underage child watching adults cursing. If you want them to learn the real language, then it's best you fuck right off and let them learn it the way it's supposed to be. All the characters I play and portray are fictional, and everything is a mere joke. Or is it? I might have ADHD, HIV, HDMI, DisplayPort, USB-C, and a whole lot of other diseases and disorders. So fuck me, and fuck you too. Now that we have established our perfect relationship and became the best friends forever, let's dive in.
You wanna play? Let's play.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
You wonder, what is this all about? Why does this channel exist? Why bother wasting time on that? Well, fuck if I know. I believe you've come here for a reason anyway. The reason is likely either curiosity or because you want to learn English.
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
You might as well love to really think every now and then, although I'm not sure about the last one, because thinking is hard. You should stay away from that. Trust me, I know, I do, a little. Jokes aside, let's get straight to the point.
Goddamn right.
Guys, I know you want a shortcut to English, I know you do.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
See? What did I say? The Winchester's just over there. Over where? Over there. Just over there, over the 20 garden fences. What's the matter, David? I'm taking a shortcut before.
The ever-asked question is there any?
Where are we?
The answer is no, there is none.
Oh, come on!
Now turn this video off right away, go to bed, cry in the pillow, and look overall miserable.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Alright, enough with that nonsense. There are plenty of ways that may help you learn certain things faster, but that's nothing like a shortcut. If you weren't born with a set of perfect teeth, you won't be able to speak it though.
Welcome to London. So when I step to the high road, I see CCTV and cameras. They're going hard for the riches and fortunes. From the street vendors to the bankers. Boys in blue always looking for a problem. There's a price to pay when you're a black man. There's a next one, pressure in both sides. He don't give a fuck, and we call him the tax man. Yo, so welcome to London, fam. Poverty, we got that in abundance, fam. Some are homeless, some are reckless. You'll get fucked if you fuck up on a London gang. Sterling, they run up on your London branch. Put work in and mash up all your London plans. You can't argue when we start charging congestion. That's another London scam.
Remember, whoever promises you will learn English in a few weeks, 3 months, or even a year is a liar and may also be a scammer. Though the profiting of scamming people may easily not be all about money.
Ah! It's not a liquid! It's a great many pieces of solid matter that form a hard floor-like surface! Ah!
Some people may scam you for, your undivided attention, for your personal time wasted, because that what makes them feel alive and empowered. Particularly the fact that they can waste your time freely and get away with it is what makes them tick through it all. It's like those absolute units in good old Lineage 2 and World of Warcraft MMO days who were scamming people pretending to be girls just so they get free items.
Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people
That
who...
describes what?
people who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
That was something, wasn't it? Wicked. What we want to do is to give zero fucks about their scam content. And what I mean by that is to avoid jumping into the comment sections under their videos or elsewhere, playing a tough little bastard who's about to turn their lives into a full-on perpetual nightmare. No, don't be a mean little bastard. Just be a regular bastard instead, right? Why, thank you, good sir. Or lady. Or...
It's called SOGI, for Sexual Orientation and Gender Identification, a curriculum that teaches public school students across Canada to celebrate the homosexual lifestyle and that gender is fluid. In other words, your gender is not dependent on what parts you were born with, but rather what you feel like in the moment.
No, I don't even want to know.
It's a trap!
Right, we're going to get back to a specific topic later on. Just a few words on where to start with English. The best way is to actually have a private tutor and master the basics with them. Make sure you understand what it is you want to learn. Like, if you want to learn British, American, Canadian, Australian or Kiwi English, choose your tutor accordingly. You need someone who specifies in what you truly want and stick with that particular language for the most part to keep it reasonably authentic. However, if you choose, let's say, Australian English, you'd still need to learn lots of standard Americanisms and Britishisms. Only after mastering the basics of your target language should you tackle on having a private native tutor. Otherwise, you won't be able to keep up. There is just no way. It's simply because of our differences with non-natives, because we don't understand what it means to be a non-native English speaker. We simply cannot fathom that. I myself am not a tutor, I'm a voice actor, so I don't really teach English, but still, I've got a lot to say and share regarding language, so keep that in mind. Every English accent is unique and has so much to offer, so choose your poison carefully and be ready to sound like an idiot and learn to have fun with it. It truly lightens things up and keeps it fun and entertaining. What I'd highly recommend is to really dive into the nature of the sound and mannerism. It means to spend at least a month of learning, shadowing and repeating as many different sounds in English as you possibly can. It's crucial that you learn to isolate the hardest sounds and introduce your speech apparatus along with facial muscles to adapt to pronouncing and combining the variety of them. That way you will have a much easier time learning to pronounce words separately and then advance to chunks and connected speech. It actually works for absolutely everybody regardless of their level, so don't be afraid of taking a few steps back in order to be able to take a sprint forwards and jump higher up the speaking platform you thought you'd never reach before. You most certainly can, and I want you to always remember that.
Hello there.
You may choose an actor or actress to learn to speak the way they do, or a specific role of theirs in a film, series, cartoon, podcast, and so on. But keep one very important thing in mind. Plenty of actors suffer from language and accent intrusion, which means they're inconsistent with their accent during interviews, podcasts, and their life in general. My favourite examples for this type of things would be Tom Holland, who has at least 2 adopted American accents interfering with a South London Kingston accent that is bolstered by a lighter version of received pronunciation with that lovely touch of eloquence to it. Truly marvellous. The other one would be Tom Hardy, whose accent has become such a mess after tackling too many different roles requiring various different accents for authentic portrayal of his characters. It's clear though it's still heavily affected by Cockney accent, but it ultimately sounds like an amateur-made borscht because you just have everything thrown in there. You kind of can't really put him anywhere in the accent spectrum anymore. His accent may easily change during the same interview times and times again, and for this very reason I love addressing it as bipolar accent.
Because, well, you are a fucking wop, mate.
Now, the way I see it, learning any language should be treated like a personal diet. No strategy will ever work for everyone the same way, so it's important you learn as much about yourself, your own strengths and weaknesses, which can be done whilst learning the target language just so you don't waste too much time digging into yourself. Because we all love doing that, don't we? Hell yeah. You might as well apply previous experience in other fields using critical thinking and unbiased cold judgment to the best of your ability.
I ain't got a good brain.
Oh shit.
You may find that learning any skills staying reserved and humble brings you a lot more confidence in yourself and allows you to avoid that totally uncalled for arrogance and superiority complex. After all, it's always better to stay a good and truthful person, especially if you're advanced or even proficient in something.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
I believe being humble is knowing your worth at heart in silence. But don't be a nice guy, be a good person. These are very different things, right? But let's not stray away from the subject.
Nice.
In reality, learning a language will take you years and years of hard work, constant practice, as well as remaining consistent in pushing your boundaries without overdoing, so you don't find yourself consistently burning out instead. Finding balance is important, and no program is adapted to you personally, so that's your responsibility to work it through, really. Make sure you let your tutor know everything that bothers you so they may address your personal needs and adapt a certain program specifically for you.
Alright then, keep your secrets.
Yes, it's 2025, it's about time we all learn some personal responsibility about everything we do, right?
That's some funny shit, huh?
Shut the fuck up!
I know it's not trending to be a responsible human being these days, and what's trending is playing the victim in Cry Me a River, but I believe in you and your good spirit. So, take a nice lovely grip of that bloody English and simply don't let go.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this.
There you go, champ. Bob's your uncle. That's essentially how you become good at something. You stick to researching as much as 10% and 90% of putting effort into practicing respectfully. Just make sure you don't try to tackle on everything at once. Take baby steps, one step at a time. Do not rush like ever. Else, well, if you want to play games...
I will find you. And I will kill you.
Whoa, easy there, mate. Mellow the fuck out for God's sake.
In deep shit we are, mate.
Anyway, the core idea here is quite simple. You rush, you injure yourself. You may injure yourself mentally and end up in a nut house, so again, no rush.
Where's the lamb sauce?
How to never get stuck, you'd ask? Make sure it clicks that your best friend here is consistency. Even if just 10 minutes a day, it still yields a result. But I'd encourage you to go about it as if it's a light workout, including 2 to 3 new words daily and using them right away, as well as start speaking even in very basic words with tones of errors day 1. Don't forget to include some fucking cursing and use it with some real emotions put into it.
Fuck you, Tony!
This will build a stronger basis and make sure you're going to sound far more natural. So yeah, sweetheart, no more excuses, alright? Just do it. 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 The Jedi are taking over. Do it now. Do it now. Do it. Do it. I am the Senate. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it. The Jedi are taking over. Do it now. Do it. Oh fuck, that was horrible. But still, if I were you, I wouldn't put that in the it can wait box.
What's in the fucking box?
So the faster you start conversing with people, the faster you will yield the bigger results.
Yes. General Skyhobi, the negotiator.
What the fuck?
It's the constant usage of the target language that builds itself like rocks form in nature. No, not these kind of rocks. It doesn't matter how much time you spend working on grammar, reading, writing, all that shit. You're never going to speak and understand what is being said if you don't put as much, if not more, effort in your speaking and listening. Because what we as human beings actually do the most in our lives in that regard is exactly listening and speaking. I mean, take your first language into account. And the good thing is, these two elements are complementary, meaning they help building one another. Make sure to remember that. You will never ever fully learn English. Nobody will.
Is it possible to learn this power?
No. You will never ever learn Russian either. You will never learn any language to the point where you can stop learning. So it's not some bad news actually, because the point is that you can finally chill. And native speakers don't care about your levels. We just talk to people regardless. If a non-native English speaker tells you they speak like a native, it's always bullshit. Absolutely always.
Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying.
They may sound like a native, but there is an insane gap between sounding like one and speaking like one.
Oh, hi, I'm Kermit. I'm a frog.
I have met some truly amazing people all over the world who have really mastered the craft of sounding like authentic Brits and Americans, but there are plenty of things that give them away in a real conversation.
Why aren't we hanging him? In the name of God, why aren't we hanging him? Sit down! He's a spy!
It's quite easy to tell. Various sounds become inconsistent, the pace is weird, the stress feels pressed on, the word usage, aka vocabulary, and exceptionally good grammar that not even native teachers and tutors use in casual conversations is always present. All of that gives you away in a moment. And that's okay, don't try to hide it. No need to chase after perfection that simply doesn't exist. By learning English to any level, most of us would admire your effort. Just don't use these freaking idioms and tones of very specific complex words and slang we never actually use ourselves every chance we get. Trust me, this is not how you surprise natives, and that just ends up being fucking annoying. But we won't tell you that, so you wouldn't know. Instead, try speaking in your own manner with a fair bit of eloquence.
Tell us something your mum doesn't know. Yeah.
Make it comprehensible so people enjoy your lovely voice and acknowledge how much effort you put into that being a foreigner. It's fascinating, truly. You don't want to do yourself a disservice at this point. You want people to know how much effort you put into English. So go ahead and do that. Be yourself. Be natural. That's practically the best thing you can do in this crazy world. I mean, that's what I do. I don't give a fuck. Not anymore. If somebody doesn't like me, well, too bad. What can I say? Now, before I go, a word of advice.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Try getting through and further utilise the words I use in my videos. I believe they will help you keep a far more laid-back and friendly conversational manner, but don't dismiss your own individual aspects. It is how we speak in the UK, we mostly keep it light-hearted even when it's dead serious. And the reason is because it's our culture, and we'll love to be a bit childish whilst going through adulthood. Either way, the world's already serious enough to the point it's quite depression-infusing, and we want to have a fair bit of fun, don't we? Lovely. With that being said, I should bow down and get the fuck out of it. See you in the next one, wankers.